His best saying is, rule number 1, I'm never wrong, and rule number 2, if for some reason I am wrong, rule number 1 takes over. However, I will try not to follow this rule, and try to admit when I am wrong, and take responsibility for my actions and mistakes. This was my Parsha and Matir. I also read a Haftorah from the first book of Kings, chapter 3, verses 15 to 28, and chapter 4, verse 1. The Haftorah tells the story of the wisdom of Solomon, who was Israel's third king. The first part of the Haftorah tells about the dream in which God asked Solomon what you would want most at this time in his life. Solomon asked to have an understanding heart so that he would be able to judge people fairly. In the second part of the Haftorah, Solomon is presented with a real-life dilemma. Many of you know the story about two women who lived together and had given birth at the same time, and one baby dies during the night. They go to see Solomon, each saying that the living baby is hers. Solomon has to decide who the living baby really belongs to. He orders the living baby to be cut in half, and that each woman would then receive each half. One of the women quickly cries out, "No, please do not do that. Give the whole baby to her." However, the second woman agrees with Solomon's decision to cut the baby in half. Solomon decides that the baby must belong to the woman who showed true mother's love, namely the one who chose to let it live, even if it meant losing it to the other woman. I interpreted this story as responsibility being lost. A fool would not have been responsible or honest, but a wiser person would. I believe that this is my first step to gaining that wisdom, and it is also my first step taking responsibility for my actions. I think my bar mitzvah as my first step to wisdom and responsibility. Some people think of their bar mitzvah as an end to their Jewish learning because they have finished Hebrew school. I think that as the beginning, and this is why I am glad to have everyone here share this important event with me, especially my aunt, uncle, and my cousin Leanne, as they had a very tough time getting here. In that note, I would like to thank everyone here that has come along this morning. I didn't expect to see many of you again for coming. Yeah. So I'm glad to have everyone here to share this important. Yeah. Never mind. Especially. Okay, and a very big thank you to my parents who are obviously paying for everything, so I would not be having this at all without them. And my mom, a special thank you to you for all the hard work that you have put into organizing everything and making sure everything was prepared in time. So, big thank you. And last of all, before I give a huge thank you to Fiona, I would like to sum up Jewish religion in 9 words. I think Daniel knows this as we made it up. They tried to kill us, we won, let's drink. And now, a very big thank you to my new teacher, Fiona. Without her, none of this would have happened, and I'm sure there were times when she thought that it wouldn't happen. But she believed in me, which in turn made me believe in myself, and I want to thank her so much more for all the hard work and dedication in teaching me and making me ready and confident to do my bar mitzvah. Thank you, Fiona. And thanks again, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
This is sort of a happy, bittersweet moment because, you know, I teach these kids and we worked with them for years. I started teaching Joshua when he was probably 5. And he had his ins and outs and challenges in Hebrew school. He didn't particularly like it and preferred to play in the playground with the children for a couple of years. But he did manage to come back to Hebrew school and get something out of it, and I'm really, really proud. And he's the youngest in the group of 4 of the bar mitzvah group that I just finished, and this is the last bar mitzvah from that group. So it's kind of sad because it means like the end of that class, and I don't get to see those boys, and now they're going to grow 2 feet, and we're not going to recognize them anymore, so it's kind of sweet. But Joshua's been a great little guy. He's been really very fun to teach, and he's had his challenges, and his challenges are himself. He doesn't know that he can do. And I think that for his bar mitzvah, he's really learned that he can. And it's a start for him because he believes that he can actually believe in himself and get the job done. And it's not something that kids learn in school necessarily. They're allowed to drop the ball, and they're allowed not to achieve if they don't feel like it, and they get sort of let off, but in the Jewish religion we don't let them off. We tell them you're able, we expect it from you, and you're going to do this. And Joshua, he absolutely stood up for the task. And like he said, there were times I wasn't sure whether he was going to make it. But he worked hard, and he slogged along, persevered. I love that about Joshua. And he has done a fine and mighty bar mitzvah today. And he read the Torah, there wasn't one mistake that came out, which is astonishing, and it was a good long piece. For all my bar mitzvah boys, I like to get their initials and try to describe them with the letters of their initials. Joshua, his initials are JLS, and so I sat for a while and pondered over the words which I thought described Joshua best. I like the word jovial for J, because Joshua's always been a jovial guy in our class. He's always full of talk, full of fun, full of conversation, full of diversing, trying to get off on tangents, but always very jovial. And with that, for his middle initial, his L, very likable. He's a very likable and fresh young fellow. I enjoyed him very much indeed, and I'm going to miss him. And for the Stevenson S, I gave him an interesting word, which is striving. I don't use this word very much for my bar mitzvah boys, but this one goes for Joshua, because towards the end of his bar mitzvah, and from the middle to the end, this boy strived to do this and made it happen and believed that it could, and he pushed himself all the way. And there were options. He might have not done all of it and missed a few lines at the end, but no, he strived. And even at the end, when we were asking him for his speech, he was very striving in his speech. He wants to start and be responsible as he moves forward. He strives to be a good, responsible Jewish boy. And so for that, I'm very proud. So the 3 words which I've chosen for Joshua: jovial, likable, and striving. And Joshua, Mazel Tov on behalf of the Jewish community of Bermuda. I'd like to present you with your own Kiddush cup from the Jewish community, which I hope you will use in great health in the future. Bring some Judaism into your home and enjoy. Mazel Tov on behalf of the Jewish community. One more thing that Joshua doesn't know about. I have in my hand here a letter. And this letter was written to Joshua in 1998. How old were you in 1998? When it was written to Joshua, he was 1. He was 8 months old. It was when he was named with his Jewish name. And the letter is from Jill, the top Jill, and she wrote this to Joshua. Joshua doesn't really know her, but wait and see what she says. She says, "Dear Joshua, I'm writing this letter to you on the day that we are celebrating the blessing of your Jewish name, Isaac. You are only a few months old now, but by the time you're old enough to read this letter, you'll also be old enough to read the book we have given to you today. We hope that the book will help you to understand the huge impact the Jews have had on the world as we know it today. You have every right to be proud of your Jewish heritage, as well as the non-Jewish heritage you have inherited from your dad. Whichever religion you choose when you get older, or if you choose no religion at all, I know your mum and dad will give you all the love and support that they can. We have known you since the day you were born. In fact, I think we knew you even before that. I know you will grow up to be a wonderful man, and I hope we'll be around to see that transformation take place. If not, be assured that we will be thinking about you and following your progress every step of the way. Your mum and dad will be your guides, and I know they will do a terrific job. A baby could not be more wanted or loved than you are, Joshua. I did not have the honour of knowing your grandfather, for whom you are to be named today, but a tradition going back thousands of years is being passed down to you today by giving you his name, Isaac. Mazel tov, and God bless you, from Jill and Jimmy and family. And with that, they, 13 years ago, gave a book to Joshua called The Gift of the Jews, How a Tribe of Desert Nomads Changed the Way Everybody Thinks and Feels. And this is Jill's present to Joshua from 13 years ago.
Wow.